What's going on, everyone? It's GadgetsBoy. Welcome to another video. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at the new DJI RS3 Mini, and this is a gimbal for your DSLR camera, so your full frame camera, so you can just take this on the go. This is more like an everyday gimbal, and you might be wondering why I've got the other two here. I've got the RS2 and the RS3, which I bought the Pro package for the RS3. And I just wanted to compare the weight, the size, and the subtle differences that you might get between both, between all of them. Because DJI says actually this should give you the same experience as the RS3, for example, but just in a smaller form factor, and this should still be able to handle my Sony a7S III or the FX3, for example, with a 20 to 70mm lens, the 2.8 GM master lens. So without further ado, let's unbox this and see what it's all about. And in fact, the delivery on this was very quick. They announced it, I ordered it, and I got it today. So here we are. Let's see what we get. So right on the front of the box, we get the image of what we meant to get here. So ultra lightweight, it says 795 grams, which is good, great for traveling. And then on the back tells us everything that we should get. So the gimbal, the RS Mini tripod, the RS Mini quick release plate, and RS Mini. For the RS Mini, you got the L-shaped multi-camera control cable in there, so USB-C 30 centimeters long, and the USB-C charging cable, which is 40 centimeters long, and a screw kit as well. Let's get in here. I feel like DJI always do good packaging. It always feels premium, which is really nice. If you haven't already, there's plenty of videos online already that shows some of the demo of what people have been doing with this. So you won't be seeing the recording samples and stuff on this video. This is just an unboxing and first look to see what you actually get when you buy one of these. If you're a content creator like myself, something like this would be very good for traveling. It means you can quickly chuck in a bag. It's nice and portable and takes up a smaller footprint. This is currently the case that I use for the RS3 Pro, and this is a lot. It gives you a lot in there for traveling about. So you can imagine having something like this would be great, just to be able to pop in a backpack and off I go. So moving along, so this is the safety guideline for the RS3 Mini Pro. Just take that out. See there, just give that a read. All important information in there, and quick start guide is also here as well. I always keep the quick start guide because sometimes it actually does give you really good information about setting this up very quickly. But I've set this up a few times, so hopefully it's the same experience and I won't have to spend too much time trying to set it up. So we've got a tiny little box here, which is nothing, just an empty packaging, maybe just to secure this into place. Interesting. And obviously the Ronin RS3 Mini itself. This will actually make the Pro line sound like a proper Pro line because you don't get all the extra features and the ports and stuff like that on the actual Ronin itself. But Jesus, this is very compact. So two hands here, just holding it with two hands, you can just see how compact this is. That is ridiculous. Look at that. Wow. That is ridiculous. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that in a second, but that makes me happy, puts a smile on my face. Just more packaging there, and then this is all our cables and stuff that we need. So some screw kits and release kits and stuff here for the mount. So you can see there, two screw mounts there. We've got our mounting plate here. I'm so rough with these things when I open them up. You can see there. And here we have the USB-C cable for charging this. Again, just unscrew this. See there. Nice length for taking it back with you, so you don't have to worry. So in case you want to plug it into a battery pack or something, you won't be dragging a lengthy cable with you. And that's the L-shaped cable, as mentioned at the start. And what else do we have here? Oh, the mini tripod mount. So that's the mini tripod adapter. As you can see there, nice and dinky. It's very, very mini. Just to put into perspective, this is the one that comes with the RS3. Just put that down for a second. So you can see the size difference there. It's completely different sizes. That's interesting. But obviously, I can still use this with it if I really want to, but that defeats the purpose. I'll just go for the smaller one, which is pretty cool. By the way, this is the RS3 Pro and the Mini next to each other. You can see the size difference there. so much smaller in terms of footprint there. Look at that. Look at the size difference. That is ridiculous. In fact, I'm going to take the RS2 out of shot, just because I don't need that right now, but I might borrow the NATO bits attachment on the side. Just put that away for a second. Okay, so with the RS2 out of the way, I can compare the sizes again properly so you guys can just see the size differences. So first of all, the tripod mount, you can see the size different there in terms of the bottom footprint. So when you place that on the surface, you know how big that would be. You can see that as well from the top camera there. You can see the size differences as well. What you'd also notice is if you look at the side view, if you look at head on the camera there, you can see the size differences as well. It's just so tiny. If I just place them on top of each other like that, you can see how much smaller that is. And even though that's tiny, they've still managed to keep the monitor on there. So this monitor is pretty cool for being able to quickly adjust settings and stuff like that. I really like that. And then if we look a bit further as well, we can see that we've got the joystick is still there, so you can still control things with that toggle. You got the record button, slightly smaller on the Mini, obviously. And then you got the mode button on there, and slightly smaller screen, but nevertheless, you still got a screen there to be able to control things. If we look on the side, you don't get that lock button toggle there, the switch there. You still get this NATO bit there, so you can attach things, but you only get that on one side, not on both sides. You got the USB-C port there for charging up. I'm assuming that is. Yep, I think that is correct. So one USB-C port. We still got the scroll wheel here, and the trigger is still there as well, which is pretty cool. So you get all the essentials, essentially, to be able to control everything you need to do. You don't get the auto lock feature, which is there, which is when you toggle it and it just locks it into place, and then you're good to go to travel. But you just have to lock things manually on the DJI RS3 Mini. So what else is different here? Also, yes, the battery attachment. So obviously on the RS3 Pro, we're able to remove the battery that we've got on here, so you can lock it into place like it's already there, so you can unlock it, so you can remove the battery and detach it, which means you could potentially buy a spare battery for the RS3, the normal one, lock it into place and recharge it on the go and stuff like that. I'll put that to the side for now, or on this one you won't be able to do that, so that is fully locked into place, but you'll be able to charge it using your battery pack, although this do last very long as well. It's been quoted to last a whole day of recording, so I don't think you need any more than that, to be honest, when you're recording out and about. So yeah, so this NATO thing, I'd be able to attach my RS3 extension there if I really need to, which is pretty cool. I'm just gonna zoom out a bit. You'll be able to see that, so I can attach that. I can still use some old accessories on there, which is a bonus if you think about it. Doesn't mean it means I don't have to go and buy extra bits. So essentially, the Pro can be like the Pro mode version, which I use for heavy duty stuff when I'm here. And then when I need to travel, I can just take this along with me, and it's lightweight, compact, small, easily chuckable in a bag, and you're good to go. So here it is with the Sony FX3 mounted and balanced on it as well. So trying to balance this and get it adjusted and stuff took, I don't know, about 4 minutes to get used to it. Just because what you notice is it can be quite stiff when moving things up and down to adjust the minute little movement to make sure that it doesn't move anywhere. So right now, everything's fully unlocked, which means when I go like this, it stays in position. And then when I move it forward, it stays into position as well. And when I rotate it, it stays into position. So pretty much calibrated as I want it there. So next thing to do really is to switch it on and then check how well I've done, because the app would actually, the device would actually tell you how well you've done, and then you can calibrate again until you're fully happy with it. One thing that's also cool about this is you can turn this into vertical mode for recording things like TikTok, Instagram Reels and that kind of stuff, which I'll show you guys as well. But for now, let me just quickly position this so that we can see whether I've done this correctly or not. So to get started with it, you need to download the DJI Ronin app and then update it if you have it before already, because then you'll be able to connect to the Mini. Otherwise, it doesn't come up on the list of DJI RS products. So we can do RS Mini there, we can do connect. It's found it straight away, which is pretty quick. And the password is usually the default. And then update required. You can start updating the firmware very quickly. All right, so once the activation's done, the update, and then you do the activation. Once that's done, as you can see there, the calibration is showing that little green logo there. When that's green, it's basically saying that this is very, very much well calibrated. So pat on the back for myself. So, I mean, it took a while to do, but here we are. We are there. We are there. So next thing to do is to press this one here, and it will start calibration, just to calibrate with the weight of the actual camera itself. So calibrate the motor so that it can carry the weight of the camera as it is once you've calibrated it. And as you can see, that's doing the job. And yeah, 60% needed there. Yep, make that noise away. And that is calibrated, as you can see there. Nicely done. And on the app itself, we still have all the usual stuff on here. So for example, we can do balance test on there. We can connect to Raven Eye if you have one of those. You got motor parameters, so you can change different settings. You've also got this
Could you try again?
Siri, I don't need you, thank you. But yeah, so you got all these other things that you can do as well. So you can do a virtual joystick, so we can use this to control the actual thing itself. As you can see there, it's moving left to right, up and down, and so on. So you can use it to do different things. It's entirely up to you. Panorama, you got this gaming controller settings as well, so you can connect PS4 and Xbox controller to your Ronin RS3 Mini, which is pretty cool. So maybe gives you a better tactile sort of feedback when you control things. I can't see anything to do with like follow me mode or anything like that on here, so I'm guessing that's not something you can do on this. But got the create menu, you can mess with the settings and off you go. Okay, so app settings and stuff like that aside, so we've got the camera mounted on here. You can see how easy this is to just pan and tilt and control and stuff like that, just to get steady shots. This is probably not making it look as good as possible on there because I'm trying to watch at the same time. But yeah, so you can just move it around, you can pan, you can tilt the camera itself, and this payload on here is handling very well. The motor is fully carrying the weight of the FX3 with the 2470 G master lens on there. So obviously that adds weight to it, so when you're carrying this around, you have to think about things like that and how well this is going to balance when you're going to use it, and if you're going to need that attachment just to give you extra leverage over how you control things and what kind of shot you want to do. So this is pretty cool. So you can just do low down shots as well. As you can see there, it's doing this thing and it's not complaining. It's still green on the calibration end over there, so you can do that as well. But I think this is pretty cool. This is something that, sorry, this is all janky the way I'm doing that, but this is pretty cool. This is something that you can literally buy if you're someone who travels a lot and you want to create content on the go. All the buttons are still there, so you can do things like selfie mode or reset it like so. There you go. So that's in selfie mode. So you can just record yourself away, chat to camera, whatever, and then you can just reset it back again to pan back to the front where you're looking and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to see. Actually, let me move the lens out if it affects it. Nope, it's gone orange on the little meter there, but it's not massively affected. If I just pull that back, then it's gone to green. So every little weight on this movement makes some sort of difference to what you're doing. Let's try and put it into portrait mode to see what that looks like. So for this one, first thing first, we'd have to remove the camera itself, obviously. So there's a little red lever, release lever at the bottom here. So we can use that to remove the camera first off completely. Before you can remove it, there's another safety lock right at the back of it. So we can use that to remove that completely. So you can see that the camera is completely off the old system there. Next, we need to remove this part of the system there. So you have to release it first on the silver bit, and then there's a little toggle here to release it, so the release and the safety lock. So once you've done that, you can just easily just push that out, release that, push that out, and release it like so. So this is going to be very important in making this into a portrait mode. So once that's done, next thing you want to do is grab your camera. So you can see the mounting there with the quick release lever there, this red one. So make sure that's on the unlock area, so unlock spot. Obviously some people might want to do that with the plate completely removed, but it's totally fine to do it this way as well. So you then need to just match the front here. So you can see the camera logos are there. So you just want to match those and then slide this down so the grooves are matching like so. So now we're in portrait mode and we just need to calibrate it again. Boom. You can see that is not moving anywhere. So we lock that into place like so. So make sure that's not going anywhere. And then we need to do that axis as well to make sure that this stays like this when I release it. So like I was saying, the sliders are quite stiff, so it can prove quite challenging when you're doing it. But once you do it a couple of times, it's very straightforward to do, like you can see there. So we can then lock that into place so that it swings. Sorry, so that it doesn't swing. And then when we go this way, oh, it's no longer balanced that way. So just move that again. Okay, it's balanced upwards again. So I mean, it takes a couple of minutes compared to the big Ronin. One tip I have is the lever on top, move it towards the lock side a little bit because it adds weight once you lock it into place. So you might feel like you've balanced it when you move this all the way there. You might think it's balanced, but when you add that tiny bit of weight when you lock it to this side, even though it's so minute, it might move it a little bit. But that could be a little tip there for you guys. But hopefully we now have a balanced that way, and it's balanced that way too. And then we unlock this one, and unlock, actually let's do this other one first, and then we unlock the roll axis to balance it as well. So if we go across again, leave it just a tad bit there so it's not fully closed, very stiff. There we go. Then add that extra weight there. So now, boom, we have the roll axis done as well. So the roll is there, and then the tilt, we just have to go forward and make sure they're still parallel. Yep, we're good. So now, if we unlock this, we calibrate it again. So it'll do all this magic for calibration. So it kind of auto-tunes it and make sure that the motor in there is capable of moving the weight that we've got in here and what we want to do with it. So everything's locked into place. Make sure there's nothing loose. Yep, 100%, confirm. Go back out, and it's green on the back. And it's green on the back because that's been calibrated properly. It took a couple of minutes to do, but once you've done it, honestly, that's it. And we've now got ourselves a vertical mode. Look at that. So if I'm recording for YouTube Shorts or, I don't know, TikTok, I can just use this like that. So I can change the pan to follow mode and follow speed. I can change all that stuff, all that settings on here. There we go. Oh yes, this is lovely. Oh yes, I just love this thing. So yeah, pan to follow, FPV mode as well. Let's see how we are with selfie mode. What's going on, everyone? It's GadgetsBoy. That just looks really good and I just love it. It just works really well. Just put that back to how it was. And I think this is going to be mainly used when I use it for in vertical mode. And then maybe if I have extra space in my bag, I can carry the Pro with me and this as well. So this will be calibrated, ready to go for vertical mode, and the other one will be calibrated, ready to be used in just a landscape mode for a regular YouTube video. So that's basically it. I've unboxed it, shown you how easy it is to set up, and calibrated it as well, and balancing it and stuff like that. So hopefully that's helped someone out there. But next thing is, hopefully some videos I'll be shooting, I'll be using this, and make sure you follow me on Instagram at GadgetsBoy, because when I do use this to film anything, I will be tagging it on there to say I've used this in the process, so you guys can just see the sample of what we've done with it. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.